I'm doing an Amur Regional Administration contract. A heap of work. The road to the launch site goes through a tunnel. Trouble is, it's been blocked and neglected for many years. We can allocate machinery for clearing, but we'll need some materials. 2 loads of metal beams, 4 loads of wooden planks, 4 service spare parts, and a service trailer. Okay, we're tracking. I have the International Paystar TwinSteer and the Western Star TwinSteer 6900. We can get everything we need here at the warehouse, minus the service trailer. That should get us there. I'll have to drive a little closer to get that other one manually. I'm gonna have to unpack that to load the other one because I'm gonna scoot it back and double pack it in the front. That way it's not sticking up extra high. That might hold. Let's get that other one loaded. That's what we came for. Let's turn this cruise ship. I'm gonna take it on out and park it on the outside of this place so we don't bump it trying to get it out. I'm just gonna top it off whether I need it or not. This should be good. My load's moving around. That's not going anywhere. I definitely need to top this thing off before we go. Tight squeeze. I could have just stacked 4 service spare parts on the back of that Western Star TwinSteer, but I really don't trust doing that on this kind of a terrain. Some of these roads are just hard to go through, period. And it would be even harder if you had to stop and reload that cargo every time it fell. The road we're taking really isn't that bad, it's just a long haul. We do have fuel tanks scattered from here to there, but I don't even know if you would need it because there's a fuel station on the other end of this road. These TwinSteer trucks are the best for this type of terrain. Of course, if you hit it wrong, you're going to take damage no matter what you're driving. Yep, I hit that wrong. Oh, that Western Star got clobbered. As it turns out, concrete slabs are rough on tires. This road isn't too bad, it just has a lot of dips in it. And if you don't have chains, you ain't going up it. I don't care a lot about these bridges that you can see through the middle of. You'd have a fun time getting up this without chains. It slips around a little, even with chains. We could take a shortcut here, but it's quicker to go the long way. These TwinSteer trucks are good at rock crawling in high gear. I'll just turn across the front side of this. It'll keep me from taking those sharp turns. We're halfway. Going around the outside might not be faster, but it keeps us from unhooking the winch. The Western Star is trying to push. Now we're behind the quarry. Wait, no, we'll be behind it once we get to that broken down conveyor section or whatever it is. You can see the quarry from here. I think this is a broken conveyor section for the quarry. I'm gonna stop for fuel in case we get stuck or something and I end up needing it. We have a busted tire or two on this thing. I'm not even gonna move that Zix. It's so tiny, we'll just push it out of the way. It flipped right over. These are some big rocks in the middle of the road. We're about to do some Baja. It's about to get rough. That'll make you spill your coffee. I'm gonna have to move this other truck. I used this Derry Longhorn on for hard to reach places. I used it to drop this Cat CT680 across the ice because it was the only way in. This should be out of the way. Let's get it in. Maybe if I bump my cargo against the bridge, it'll slide over some. Nope, that don't work. I have more fuel here, but I don't think I need to stop for it. I'm just gonna ram it like I did the Zix. Well, that didn't turn out as planned. I may as well refuel since we have to stop anyways. That's not going anywhere. We should be able to get it all the way in this time. I hope we're able to fix this bridge in the near future. That thick mud's hard to get through. I gotta let those diffs cool, but I'm keeping them locked. The rough part's coming up. I dread that little wooden bridge up here. There it is. Look how sideways this thing is. Hot differentials. It wouldn't be hard to lose traction and slip right off of this bridge. The differentials are cooking. Here comes some high gear rock crawling. Well, that was better than expected. The road looks nice out this way. Here's the fuel station. And over there is where we're taking it. That's one thing off the list. Now I gotta move this truck out of the way. I'll just top it off for the next time. That's all of those. I'll move this truck out of the way and we'll go grab the service spare parts. Let's top it off and grab another one. Oh, that was solid. I even hit the pole. The Derry Longhorn 4520. It's got rear steering. We don't have a crane on this thing, but we don't need it. We don't need to buy a service trailer either because they'll give us one. After we turn in our service spare parts, it should show up on the map. I may start using a different route coming out of this garage. I know there's an opening in the back of it. It might save us a couple minutes of spinning wheels. I will definitely try going out that way the next time. If you notice, this truck has over 100 gallons tank, and I feel safe driving it the entire way without trying to stop for fuel. This truck really doesn't use a lot of fuel either. This will be the first time it gets out on this region. It does really good though with that rear steering. It can fit in some tight spaces. I wish we could get a little bit bigger tires for it, but it does really well with what it has. Technically, this truck is a TwinSteer, except only it's different from the other ones because it's the front and the rear wheels that are steering, not just two sets in the front. It's trying to get dark on us. I'm going to change the time. The sun will be up in a few minutes. It's time to get the wheels up. We're busting up the shocks. Here's the first jump. We have a much bigger one coming up after we get past the shallow ice. This is where you can sink a truck. All of this stuff to the right that isn't shiny is breakable. Here comes the big jump. That was solid. And that's slick. Oh, that could have been a lot worse. Just over this hill is the warehouse. As small as these tires are, I have to use differential locks. It's still not a bad truck though. The big Derry Longhorn turns like a cruise ship, but this one turns on a dime. We've made it out of the wood. This truck steers like a 240SX. That's what we came for. Look how steep this thing turns. I'll get fuel here, but I'm not going to stop the rest of the way in. Oh, I'm beating my truck up badly. Next stop, Cosmodrome Gateway. I should have shifted up into high while I had a chance. We got it rolling now. This is one of the smoothest driving trucks in the business. This road is slick even with the chains on. I don't want to slam into that solid wall of concrete. I probably could have went around the backside of that pole. We're hung on that concrete slab. This truck has some top-notch maneuverability. This road isn't the best, but at least we can hammer across it in high gear. We gotta straighten up, we're coming to the bridge. It wasn't gonna straighten up, it was gonna buck us right over the edge. Right back in high. Here comes the off-road shortcut that we're not taking. We can just keep hammering on the asphalt, but if we go up that snow, it's going to be a little bit of winching. We're just doing some rock bowling. I better watch out, that one could flip us. I'm taking this one right through the facility. Across the ramp and out the other side. We're coming up to the back side of the quarry. We're gonna keep trucking and we're not gonna stop till we get there. We have plenty of fuel, and there's a fuel station at the end of the road. Let's do some rock crawling in high gear. We're keeping the wheels hot on this trip. Oh, I about flipped it. I was zigging when I should have been zagging. we'll come back for this off-road Derry Longhorn whenever we go get that trailer. We'll just drop that trailer and bobtail it. We'll get there quick. It's just right over here somewhere, up behind the town. They don't even tell you exactly where it's at until you bring in all the other stuff. I think we're doing it the right way, because if we would have had to stop and pick it up every time we drop it, it would have took a lot longer. And that's probably how it would have went if we would have tried to stack everything on the one truck. I could have brought an 8-slot bed, but those things get wedged too easy. I don't even like to fool with them. This little section might be the slowest part about coming this way. It stalled, but it goes good across the top side. I thought those differentials would get hot, but they haven't. We barely used any fuel. We're going to the top. The differentials are cooking. This will be a bad place to slide off. We're drifting it. We got the tires singing. We almost went completely across the map and haven't even used a half a tank of fuel. The last place I got fuel was at the warehouse. This thing has an enormous tank and it doesn't use much fuel. Stage completed. Now we gotta find that service trailer. It's just up behind town. I'm gonna grab the big Derry Longhorn and drop that trailer. This truck can probably get up that big muddy road quicker than any other truck. It definitely don't turn as good as that other Derry Longhorn. This one has bigger wheels on it than the other one does. It makes a big difference when you're off-road. We're drifting. We just plowed into a snowbank. The F-750 with all of its upgrades still can't go through this mud hole. The big Derry Longhorn goes through it in high gear. This looks like a cold town to live in. It stalled. This is deep. It might not stall coming back because we'll be coming downhill. That trailer is all the way back at the end. Here's my flipped over Scout 800. I'll tip that back over real quick. I was out here exploring and tipped it and there was nothing to winch to. I probably should have moved it so I don't have to turn around it. I'm doing it the hard way. There she is. Let's get it in. I wish it could go this fast in high gear. I thought it could go through here in high. I just got schooled. This mud's a lot deeper than it looked. It has frozen ice on top, but the ice layer is thin. We're rattling the windows down this street. I probably should have tried to get through this in high gear. It stalled. We're going up. I can't imagine why there's no asphalt here. Maybe it's under all of the snow and rock. We could probably hit the E-brake up here and slide to the bottom. The trailer is hung on the pole. I'm going to keep ramming it until it comes loose. I probably should have went around the outside of that pole. Looks like one more time might do it. Nope. It may have been quicker to detach it and pull it around with the winch. I'm just going to back up and go around the outside of that pole. That was terrible. We're in the final stretch now. If you guys like watching these, you should like and subscribe. That is, if you haven't already. And for those who did, thanks a million. It really helps me out. We'll have the Cosmodrome open after we turn this trailer in. That place might be difficult to scout. It's a really large map. Here we are. Contract completed. A heap of work. Thanks for your work. We cleared the path and reinforced the ceiling of the tunnel to prevent future accident. Gateway is now accessible.